Hi everyone, it's Karen here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video and this is a little bit different. I haven't done one of these personal videos in a while. If you've been watching my videos lately, you realize that I mentioned that my mojo was down. I just couldn't create anything. I recently created one thing, but it doesn't feel like I'm in the full swing of things, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. And I kind of came up with 10 ways to basically what to do when your mojo is down, basically how to get your creative juices flowing. And I wrote them down. I have my little list here on my phone, and I'm gonna get started and just kind of talk about 10 different ways you can kind of get those creative juices flowing and actually bring your mojo back up to what it was or what you want it to be. So let's get started. The first one, and it's kind of like a no-brainer or like kind of very logical thing, is basically do something else. Walk away from your desk and do something else that is fun. Do something else, whatever it is, whether it is, read a book, go to the movies, watch TV, go out shopping, go out for lunch with your friends, with your husband, with your partner, whatever it is. Do something fun that is not art related. I find that when you kind of step away from that, from all that craziness of having to perform or having to create, and you're really not into that, then it's just easy to just do that. Just basically walk away from your room, walk away from your area, basically almost close the door, go do something else, refresh your mind. Don't think about not being able to create, because that just gets you into a rut and then you don't know what to do. So that's my number one. I mean, what I like to do is I tend to watch TV. I tend to binge on Netflix, which it's usually not so good because then I end up getting into a show and then I don't want to stop watching. So, I mean, there's lots of things that you can do. You can go out with your friends, like just basically anything. Go out and have fun, or do something that it really, go for a walk, go outside, and you might not have to do this for a few days. It's not like, okay, I'm going to walk now and then I'm coming back and, oh, it's all good. I do this sometimes also when I'm stuck in a project and I don't know what to do. I walk away from it. So, I mean, this is not the exact same topic, but it's something to think about. So that's number one, my number one idea for what to do. The second one is basically, and this one has helped me in the past, although it didn't help me this time, but it has helped me in the past. I'm not a very organized person in the sense of I don't organize my room that much. I mean, I kind of organize the area here around me so it doesn't look so messy. But if you look at my room, it's really, really messy, especially my desk. I tend to create projects and then not clean up after because I'm too engrossed in something and I want to create my next project. So one of the tips that I really recommend is organize your stuff. Number one, organizing will just kind of open up the space and will make you feel better. Most of the time, having more space ideas come flowing in. Also, you start kind of realizing what you have in your room. So that helps as well. So you can basically kind of see what you have, organize things around. Maybe you might find something that you lost that you didn't know where it was. So that might get your creative juices flowing. So that's a good way of doing that. So that's my second tip for that. I truthfully this time it didn't work. I did organize my room, I organized my desk, and it didn't work. But in all the other times this has happened, it did. So I'll tell you what did work this time, and I'm gonna go down my list. The third one is basically watch other people's videos, other people's projects. Go and get inspired on YouTube, watch YouTube videos, go on Facebook and just see what other people are kind of doing. Not so much for copying, I mean, you can definitely do that as well, but more for like the inspiration. You might see something that inspires you so much that it will actually help you to create something else. So that's my tip number 3, is watching YouTube videos or going on people's blogs and things like that. That really helps in getting your creative juices flowing. The fourth one is similar to this one, is going on Pinterest. I find Pinterest and also Instagram, actually I should put the Pinterest and Instagram in the same one, because that one is based on photos. So you might see something that might not even be related to creating. So for example, a mood board, or somebody posted something about food, but it reminded you of something and gave you an idea for something else. So I find that Instagram and Pinterest can be huge creative juices flowing tips that you can do. And I'm sure you know these, but I'm just kind of conglomerating them all in one area, so you can really refer to this video and say, oh, I should do that. Oh, that's such a good idea. Because sometimes we're so down and so in a rut that we just don't know what to do. We don't know what to look for, how to do it, like how to get our mojo back. So that's another idea that I had. The next one, and it's something that I thought was cool. I mean, not everybody can do this, but it doesn't have to be something expensive. Go and buy yourself some craft supplies, art supplies, and it doesn't have to be something expensive. You could even go to the dollar store and get yourself some new paintbrushes, or just go and get yourself some new inspiring paper if you're a scrapbooker or a card maker, or a new stamp, or something that will just, it just inspires you. And I mean, obviously you don't have to go out and buy this. You can, but you can also shop online, browse through the stores and just see what kind of new things are out there, what inspiration. So that goes along with seeing a stamp that you love, and then seeing what that person created with it might inspire you to buy it, and then might get your creative juices flowing as well. So buying a new product does that for me. I really find that when I buy a new product, I'm able to kind of get inspired by it, and I get inspired by the new product, whether it is a medium that I bought or some kind of paper, stamp, whatever it is that you buy, glitter, it doesn't really matter. Everything inspires me. So that's really a good tip if you want to get your creative juices flowing. The next one is basically go find inspiration in other places. So yes, I definitely you can watch the videos and Pinterest, but sometimes it's just getting out of your house and going finding some inspiration elsewhere. Whether it is walking in nature, which is what Natalie Kalbach, kind of her whole motto was about her art scroll in the park kind of a theme, or if you go to like a flea market. This weekend I actually went to a flea market, and I have to say that completely inspired me. There was one store that was just unbelievable. It had so many cool things, all of them just like, antiques, but I don't know if they were antiques or not. I bought an old camera that I really want to alter, and they had a lot of like cast iron stuff, so that was amazing. So I could really create something with that. So I bought a few pieces, and I was just really inspired with a lot of the stuff that was in this place. And I mean, a lot of it was junk, but there were a couple of stores that I thought, wow, this is great. So I got inspired with that. So go out of your house and find inspiration. Find something that will just say, wow, okay, I got inspired by this. And it doesn't have to be anything like spectacular. It could be something, you're walking down the street and you see something, some kind of crack on the floor, and you say, wow, this inspired me to create something. So that's something to keep in mind, and it really, really helps. So that's the one thing that helped me now, and I really have a bunch of ideas in my head right now that I didn't have before. Another thing, and this might be, I mean, you might not think this is true, but to tell the truth is, like basically doing something for yourself. And what I mean by that is, like, number one, I mean, besides watching TV, do something for yourself. I don't know, go get a massage, or even like wear bright colors. I find bright colors really help me get inspired. Also, you can get dressed, buy yourself something like buy yourself something, a new hat, or just wear makeup, go put on some makeup, go try on some makeup in the store. I don't know, like just do something that will just brighten up the colors in your life. Sometimes I feel that my mood is the one that kind of stops me from creating, if I'm too preoccupied with things. So in the past little while, I was really preoccupied with making a specific decision for one of the members of my family, and I just didn't know how to do this decision. It was really hard for me to kind of make it, because I wasn't sure if I was making the right decision or not. And that really preoccupied my mind, and I couldn't create. And I think that's what kind of gave me that low mojo, and I couldn't like do anything. So whatever it is, whether it is anger or sadness or just anxiety or preoccupation with something, even it's not that big of a deal, it's not something life changing, it's really important to just do something and do something for yourself. The next one is, which kind of ties into what I was talking about, is kind of try to find what the root of the problem is. So if you're angry about something or with someone, or if you're sad or something going in your life, I mean, obviously I'm not a therapist, so I can't tell you what to do, but you have to talk to somebody about it, whether it is a partner or your child or your mother or your father or a therapist, whoever it is. Try to find the root of the problem. Many times when we're able to talk to somebody, or when we're able to meditate about it, you don't have to go and talk. If you don't like talking to somebody, then just go meditate. And this is also my personal opinion. I am not a therapist, but I just know from personal experience what helps me. And it does help me when I talk about what I'm preoccupied about. When I talk about it, it really helps me solve it. And once I'm solved it, then my mind is in a different state and I can actually go and create. So that really helped. I talked to my husband, I talked to my mom, I talked to as many of my friends about everything that was going on, and then I felt much better. And then I went to the flea market and I was able to get some ideas. So I had like a combination of things, and that really helped to solve the low mojo. And I'm gonna be having a lot of videos coming up, God willing, with a lot of different things, just because I have my creative juices again in my brain. Another thing that I thought this was interesting, because I was trying to come up with 10 of them, because you know how I like to make lists of 10. Another thing is doing mindless tasks, and that is something that might not be very helpful for some people, but I really find it helpful. So going and doing the dishes. I mean, I don't want to do chores. I hate doing chores. But sometimes just doing things that are basically mindless, that you don't have to think a lot, you don't have to worry a lot about things. So you're just, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, or anything that you might like to do, not something that you hate, even cooking, like something that might just be different from everything else. Just doing things that you don't have to think about and not have to be upset that you can't get any creativity going. So that's another idea that I thought would be good, and just doing stuff that is just, you don't have to think about a lot. Because as women, I don't know about men, but as women tend to think a lot and analyze things a lot. So that helps a lot to kind of get that creativity going. And the last one is one of the best ones, I guess, in terms of recommendations that I do recommend you, is that not to stress about it. Not to stress whether or not the mojo is coming back or not. The more we stress about it, the less it's gonna come, because we kind of think about it over and over and we don't know why it's happening, and everything is just kind of like turning upside down and we don't know what to do. So my best advice is to just not stress. As I said, you can use all the other advices right before. Walk away, go do something else. Just don't worry whether or not, because when you least expect it, it's going to come back and you're going to be so happy when that happens. So if you have any other ideas of how to, get the creative juices flowing, then go ahead and put them down in the comment area. I mean, there's probably so many others, like starting an art journal and letting everything flow and your emotions flow into the art journal. And this is a great idea, but I am going one step before that, before you're actually sitting down and creating, and 10 ways of how to get that mojo back. Because I feel like, yeah, you could go and sit and want to do an art journal, and I've been sitting beside my desk and trying to do things, and I literally sit and stare at the blank space and not know what to do. So I'm talking about the ideas before that. So if you have other ideas that you can think of that might get those juices flowing, the creative juices flowing, that might get your mojo back, maybe leave me a comment so other people can read them and then kind of say, oh, this might help them, or it might help somebody else, which is really important. So I just want to thank you for visiting me my YouTube channel today. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I really appreciate everything that you always comment and all the positive reinforcement that you give. And I just want to thank everybody for your support, and thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much, and have an amazing day. Bye.